Let's face it, the world is a crazy place right now. The global impact of the war in the Middle East is seeing unprecedented disruptions, not only in the geopolitical but also the socio-economic environment. My name is Sharmeen Thomas, and you are watching and listening to On the Spot for Indoz Tv. We are filming from the studios in Brisbane and coming to you with a mini-series called Unfiltered Realities. We're going to unpack what is happening in travel right now, what should people watch out for, and how they can prepare better for the disruptions, as well as talk about a few safer destinations. We will end with our signature on-the-spot rapid fire, so keep watching. Tanvi, welcome to On the Spot. Really glad to have you here today. For those who don't know you, Tanvi, what is your role in the travel industry and who are the travelers that you and your business support?
So I'm a personal travel specialist, Sharmeen. So we help people going anywhere around the world. And the most important part, we help anyone around, anyone doesn't matter they booked with us or not. We still help people. So especially in these crises and, whenever people need help, we always help. So yeah, anything related to travel, we can help.
Talking about crisis, and that's actually one of the big reasons why we're here. How is the current global environment impacting travel and everything around it?
So, Sharmeen, there are certainly some disruptions, but I would say it's mainly just the Middle East which is affected. People are going everywhere else nicely. So, let's say India, all other airlines are going. It's just Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar is what affected, or those who are going to those areas. Otherwise, everything else is going fine. I would say yes, Europe is a little bit affected because most of the flights are going via Middle East because that becomes shorter and better options. But there are the alternatives as well. So, happily airlines are rerouting and they are giving more options. So, flight wise, if you see, there not much, effect you would see in travel industry except for the Middle East. So, it's just a regional, not global, I would say.
Right, at this stage, right?
Yeah,
and the only thing we hope is that this does not overflow. But of course, being optimistic helps.
Yeah.
What are the sort of 2 or 3 biggest risks or points of friction that travelers are facing at the moment?
Mainly, Sharmeen, if they have not taken a flexible options, so let's say non-refundable options people have taken. One thing we need to understand is if your journey or your route is affected, for example, these main 3 airlines, then airlines is giving you full refund. But if people are a bit panic, they don't want to go anywhere around the world and they want to, get the refund back and ticket is non-refundable, then you can't do anything, unfortunately. And travel insurances as well, they are not covering everything. So let's say war or any kind of pandemics, they are not covered in majority of travel insurances. So that's the biggest thing if those who have taken non-flexible options, plus if people have taken from third parties where there is no contact, that's where people losing money and they are not recoverable. So they are the main things. Otherwise, other than Middle East, everything is going all good at the moment.
So if someone is planning a trip in the next 4 to 8 weeks, if you had to pick one single travel habit, what would that be?
I would say plan before, or I would say there are more things. Go before time as well, and always check, before time, at least one day before, or before you leave home as well. Double check your flights that, whether it's on time, if there is any changes. So those who book with us, we anyways check 3 days in advance, tell people, they don't have to check. But majority of people who are doing themselves, they need to understand it's a different time we are living in. And though people are more prepared, I would say after COVID, things have been changed. People are more aware, they are more informed, but still checking your flight is one thing people have to be, very careful and take flexible options. That would be best.
Interesting that you brought up COVID, because this was something I was going to ask you. What are some of the parallels that you can draw on from when COVID was happening versus now the war? Like, it's very different, but the truth of the matter is that people are affected and their travel plans are affected. So what are maybe some of the parallels that you've
I would say parallel is, it just, they are bit of in instability that people are very scared, to go. What will happen? They are thinking. So you would say that in both that's parallel, but I would say one thing is completely opposite. During COVID time, it was 90 to 95% everything was closed, and this time 90 to 95% is open. So that's the biggest thing. But I think COVID has taught people a lot, that they are more aware, they are more planned than before, and even airlines are more adaptable. They are getting more flexible options, and everyone is kind of prepared during COVID time. So these things, these times are going a little bit easy than it could be.
During COVID, Tanvi, I remember you actually helped a lot of people in Brisbane as well as India, because you have offices here, you have offices in India. You helped a lot of families reunite and also navigate that tough time. Anything, any incident that you can highlight in the last 1 month where you've been able to help a traveler?
Since we came to know about this for Sharmeen, and this flight interruption started, especially from 20th of February, I got few clients who got stuck actually in Dubai. But happily, we collaborated with the local partners, and we did charters towards Perth as well. We had a lot of people who have planned happily the European trips. I had, like 20 people were going from 5 families. So we had quickly contacted them, and, we rescued them. We changed their plan completely. We sent them to India. From there, we booked their different flights, and they happily agreed. So there were quite a few incidences where, we had to just, dig in urgently to make sure our clients are fine. But one thing I would say, Sharmeen, is this Middle East, or especially Emirates in Dubai, they have looked after people so well. They have given free hotels to people, making sure everyone is fine. That was something, I was very surprised and happy that people are, secure, and, whatever you see in the media where they say, that everything is kind of puzzled, and we also think that, something going wrong. But let me tell your viewers as well, there is nothing bad inside the Middle East, except the airspace. Everything is going normal. My own sister lives there. We talk every single day. She's like, we don't even know that something is happening. So we have helped a lot of people in emergency, whoever were going through that route or who were there. And we are so happy that everyone is finally rescued, and we have already changed their plans, whoever was going through that route. So everything is all settled for now.
I guess, Tanvi, this is exactly the kind of unfiltered reality that we're looking to bring on the show. So that's a great insight. And it's so true to some extent that the media does sort of bring out a certain perspective, but the reality sometimes of living on the ground might be a bit different. But again, we're not in anyone else's shoes. So there's no real way of knowing sometimes. Coming back to a little bit about travel insurance, what are some of the red flags and the green flags of a good travel insurance that travelers can take when they travel?
I would say if you're in Australia, better take the Australian travel insurances. They are much better. I would say I highly recommend Cover More. They have done a lot for my clients. They have really helped people a lot. So I really highly recommend them. There are some other travel insurances people take from their own countries, but we have seen people face problems. Especially they say, that, okay, we'll give you a certain amount, especially for medical expenses. But later on, you put the claim, nothing is happening. So I would really highly recommend going for the Australian travel insurances.
Anything in particular that travelers should look out for about things that should be included in their insurance? Especially in the current scenario.
I would say majority of insurances don't cover you for war or pandemic or anything. So unfortunately, you can't be saved if anything like that happen. But if you're going to unaffected areas, which most of them are right now, then you should be covered. And one thing, Sharmeen, is most beautiful, I would say, airlines is giving you full refund if you are going in affecting zones. So people don't have to worry, for travel. And I would say there is no problem. There is no and unless you are not prepared, or you're not ready on spot if something happens, and if you have a proper support and you have got a flexible options, I think there is no problem going anywhere around the world right now, except Middle East. once
Except the
again.
Middle East, yes. And where everyone hopes that that situation
Things, yeah.
kind of...
And I think it's getting better. Airlines is also, working on different routes, and there are already a lot of discussions happening. One thing is for sure, because of the jet fuels and the oil crisis around the world, fares are increasing. So we're recommending everyone, better to book your flights, till March mid. So if price increases, your fare won't affect if you have already planned, and
Right.
take the flexible options. So there should not be any problem.
That was actually, I was just going to touch on that. I mean, I
Yeah.
know you said that the rest
Yeah.
of the world is really not as affected
Yeah.
in terms of travel safety, but rising prices and fuel costs, and everyone wanting to kind of keep a tab on their expenses. So in terms of that, Tanvi, what are maybe two parts to this question? What are some safer options for travel at this point? And secondly, what are some value for money options?
I would say safer options. Other than Middle East, everything is good. I have maybe many people from Brisbane happily going to Europe, and they are traveling even US. But closer ones and the value for money, I would say Fiji, Bali, those are in Australia. Can look for even Vietnam is really going very
Still
cheap
the
these
hot
days.
spots.
Hot spots.
Yep.
You can still go. There are direct flights. There are amazing options. Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand is also going so good. And if people want, they can go domestic as well. You can go to Tasmania, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Brisbane is already here. So Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, we have very nearby places if someone wants to go on locally. But otherwise, all the main spots which generally people go nearby Australia, they all are going perfectly fine. Even the cruises are doing amazing.
Right.
So if people are scared, then go to South Pacific, New Caledonia, and all those places. They are really going so good.
So, Tanvi, for our viewers and listeners today, if we had to sit down and make a bit of a checklist, what are maybe 5 or 6 points that we can tell our travelers, this is what you need to look out for, and this is how best you can plan for any unprecedented disruptions?
I would say, first of all, you should have a very supportive travel expert with you. People think you'll do it yourself, but believe me, when you are in different country, sometimes it's a different language. So, for example, you go to South Korea, you go to China. When you call a local airlines support as well, they probably talk in their own language. It would be hard for you to communicate. So, you should have a good support at the back. Second thing, you should have a flexible options. So, you should know that what options you have bought, they should be flexible enough Third thing, even you are going to the hotel, other than if you're booking with travel agent, perfect, they have all the options. Like I also take emergency contact details of your family. In case you are doing yourself, then give wherever you are going, your itinerary, you should share with one of supporting members in your family or friend who can contact you, those who know if anything happens, where to contact you. Fourth, always keep your passport ready as well. So sometimes people think I'm going on holidays. Even generally 6 months is the minimum validity you need from the return date for travel. But sometimes people just go on a borderline. It's a 6 months plus 5 days or 10 days is enough. I generally tell people make sure you have at least 9 months or 10 months in your passport.
This is not the time to take a chance.
This is not a time to take chance. Always make sure that you have your passport has minimum 9-10 months expiry. You always have your other travel documents. For example, those who are Indians here, you're going to different countries. I tell people even keep your OCI if possible, that if in case you have to go somewhere, because this is something that's your second your second country, your second home. So it's good to keep that with you, safe of course in that case, and your emergency contact number wherever you're going. Not only the hotels or itinerary you are staying, always make sure that if anything you see, you act and you inform your family or someone reliable that you are here. So I know sometimes you might not have a phone or something, and it's not that tough as well. It's just for the emergency, checklist which we are preparing. But happily everything is going good. Wi-Fi wise as well, we talk to clients every day that what's going on in different part of the world, and they say Wi-Fi is something fantastic. I would say these days you don't need even in a local SIM or something. You just connect yourself to Wi-Fi, and you can contact your family or social media easily. So yeah, these are the main points which people can think, and you will have a best holiday, I would say.
Tanvi, those are some great tips. So just to again summarize that really quickly, go with a reputed travel expert, have flexible travel arrangements, update your emergency contacts and update your own contact as well. Keep your passport validity in check. More than 6 months, keep it at least 9 to 10 months so that in case you're caught out in any kind of situation, your passport validity is on your side. Keep your travel documents updated and handy, and always stay connected with Wi-Fi or however you can. Tanvi, those are some great tips, but I'm not letting you go so easily because now we are at the rapid fire point of our interview. So the rapid fire is just a few questions. Not too much time to think and short, quick answers. I know you're witty, so I think you can do this. All right, are we ready?
Sure.
Let's go, Tanvi. Window or aisle?
Windows.
One travel item you never travel without?
My neck pillow.
The most underrated destination you have been to?
Oh, underrated. I would say Nepal.
Right. A destination that surprised you in a good way?
Switzerland. I never thought it would be so good, especially Jungfrau, talk of the Europe.
If you didn't have a budget, what would be the next destination you travel to?
India. You don't have to go or do anything. Everything would be free anywhere you go.
Now, that's an answer that I was not expecting. I was thinking maybe you'd say Antarctica or something, but I like that. I like that. Your best jet lag recovery tip?
My husband is a doctor. He gave me that tip as well, that you go and tap your feet, and also you have the chewing gum in your mouth. So if you keep chewing, then you feel better even during the flight as well. And jet lag, even after you come back from your holidays, if you chew, it helps you to come out of it a bit faster. And I have experienced that as well in my travel.
Fantastic.
And it worked well.
The biggest mistake that travelers make?
Sometimes people just forget their passports. Happened to many times, especially when people are going to New Zealand. It happened to me at least 8-10 times. We keep reminding these days whoever going to New Zealand, please take your passport, because people think it just, part of Australia. So even I had someone going to Fiji, Sharmeen, and that person forgot passport. She's like, I could go every few months and I felt it just Australia.
Well, unfortunately, we can't yet show our driver's license for international flights in Australia. If you had one travel rule everyone should follow, what would that be?
Travel rule is never go with any expectations. Just go like a bird, fly. And, if you go and think, 13 things should be like that. You have a comfortable place. You'll have everything perfect. Believe me, there is nothing perfect in this world. You should always go with the open mind, Sharmeen, and think, you're going to explore things. You're going to have exciting things. So that's my own personal experience, Sharmeen. If you are excited, if you go with the open mindset, not even if you're booking with travel agent, you're booking with someone, don't think they have done everything. Yes, they have done everything. But if you go with open mind, believe me, you'll have the best time you can ever imagine.
If you had to summarize that, Tanvi, I would just say go with the Zindagi na milegi dobara mindset.
Absolutely.
And the last question, Tanvi, if you could own a hashtag, what would that be?
Travel the world.
Love it. Tanvi, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your unfiltered insights today. But I will say that the rapid fire was my favorite part of the interview. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sharmeen, and thank you, Indoz TV, for having me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.